Well, hello there. What can I do for you? Oh, you came about my ad. Oh, yes, ma'am, absolutely. We can have a conversation about it. Wasn't expecting a lady come by. No offense. No, just most of the time when it comes to hiring a gun to protect your property, most applicants are men, you know. Again, I just to get it out of the way quick there, ma'am. I grew up with a bunch of sisters, and they was, well, meaner than any of the boys I knew. So you ain't gonna have any kind of trouble with me thinking you can't handle yourself just because you're a woman. Yeah, yeah. The problem's I got my farm, and we got some varmint coming by and stealing all my produce. They tried to get away with a couple of my cows, but thankfully I got them a little bit closer to the house, so I was able to stop them. Oh yes, ma'am. I see. I get asked that a lot. I know I'm a big feller, and if I'm being completely honest with you, if I could get my hands on them, I could sure make them regret ever coming onto my land. But, well, as I'm sure you can imagine, I'm not real sneaky. And I could probably catch one or two of them in a straight line race, but they always scatter in a bunch of different directions, and it's just really ain't no point in me trying to go after them at that. Oh, sure. I've got my own ways to scare them off without just using my hands, but, I'm not much of a shot. No. Daddy felt like it was more of a manly way to solve your problems with your hands, I suppose is the best way I can word it. But him and Ma believed that just because a man done you dirty once doesn't mean that he deserves to be dead. Yeah. I appreciate that they taught me that to live by, but I will admit occasionally it's gotten me into a load of trouble. These fellers, I'll be honest with you, at this point I don't really mind. I don't know who all of them are, but I've caught a glimpse of a few of them, and there's some bounties on their heads. And they ain't no good. Done quite a lot worse than raiding farms for their food, if you catch my drift. So no, I don't suppose anybody'd be too upset if they found themselves on the wrong end of a gun. Say, you look awful familiar. Do I know you from somewhere? Oh. Yeah, that doer. I have seen your picture. Well, pardon me for saying so, but they was not exaggerating about how beautiful you are. And they said that you're just as dangerous as you are beautiful, which is exactly what I'm looking for, but knowing who you are now, I think I might have just priced myself out. I don't know if I can afford to hire you. Oh, I make all right on the farm, and I try to help out around when I can doing other things that require manual labor, but them coming onto my property and stealing my stuff constantly has gotten me in a bit of a financial mess. I can't go do any of the work I usually do because I can't trust to leave any of my stuff alone, and they've gotten enough of my crop to hamstring my ability to sell. So I'm in a right pickle here, but for free. Darling, are you sure? I ain't one to look a gift horse in the mouth, I promise you, but Can I at least know your reasoning? I didn't know your parents were farmers. I see. So there's men like this that made them lose the land. Bastards. No, I never understood people like that. Nothing a hard day's work won't get you. Feel like I'd take much more pride in earning my own way instead of stealing it from somebody else that's earned it themselves. So there's another reason. Well, I'm all ears if you're willing to tell me. Oh, you think I'm handsome? Oh, shucks, darling, that I appreciate that. That's mighty kind of you. Oh, no. No, I ain't been called handsome by too many people. Well, my sisters were pretty quick to run all the girls off that got too keen on me. Yeah, said that I needed a proper woman for marriage before I... Yeah, it's made it a little bit hard to find me a wife to settle down and have children with now, but I appreciate what they were doing for me. Oh yeah, trying to keep my reputation good and honest, and trying to keep their reputations good and honest as well. You know how people like to talk. Young boy and a young girl off together someplace that ain't related. You know the stories. Well, I'll give you a couple dollars for the job. And it'll come with housing and food. I hate to pat myself on the back too hard, but I think I'm a pretty dang good cook myself. Oh yeah. Mama said that I wouldn't get all big and strong if I didn't know how to make some good victuals for myself. Or at least getting big and strong off of her cooking, but I wouldn't keep it once I was on my own. Plus, let's just be honest, after a hard day's work, ain't nothing better than coming home and making yourself up something mighty tasty. Oh, you can either sleep in my bed, or I've got a guest room. If you're not too comfortable with the idea of staying in the house with me, I can sleep in the barn. If you're sure, ma'am. Absolutely, you can stay in the house. Whichever bedroom you decide, I'll take the other one. I wouldn't want things to get too improper. Alright, sounds like we got a deal then. Oof. You got quite a handshake. Oh, I've just surprised. It said, ma'am, I ain't doubting your ability to protect yourself or protect my land, or I wouldn't have hired you, but you're, well, you got some dainty hands, I suppose, or at least in comparison to mine, at the very least. You're just full of surprises, ain't you? Well, that ain't no problem with me. I would be mighty glad to learn about all those surprises you got hidden away. Pardon me for being so forward. Well, maybe once this is all said and done, and you drive them guys off my land good and proper, we can go out to the saloon to celebrate on me. On you? Well, I guess you're right. You will have all my money at that point. Absolutely. Well, all right. Let's head on back to the house now, and we'll wash up and I'll get you some supper. Oh yeah, I've had some stew on all day. getting those flavors nice and marinated together. It's not going to be the fanciest thing you've ever eaten, but I guarantee it'll taste good and put some warmth back in you. Yeah, it's a stew my mama taught me how to make. Her and my daddy both swore that it'd put the light back in a man who'd been wandering through the desert for days on end. I believe 'em. It's hearty and it tastes good and it's filling. So what do you stay at? Do you just travel from town to town, or? Well, I see. Are you potentially looking for a place to call your own? You'd like to start up a farm? Well, that's really nice to hear, honestly. Are your parents still alive? Sorry if that's too personal, but... Oh, they are? Well, shoot. Yeah, that'd be nice. Start up a farm and invite your parents back out and let them do what they enjoyed doing. Absolutely. Would I be adverse to the idea of having your parents on the farm? Well, no, ma'am. I would be more than happy to add on to the house and maybe expand the property a little bit, if that's what it took. I was sorry, I don't mean just for you, I mean in general. Oh yeah, I think it's a fine daughter that looks after her parents. I know that's not a real common sentiment, but I think everybody should try to look after the ones that raise them beforehand. Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to this being wrapped up so we can go have that drink together. But I think maybe I might get to know you just a little bit better over some dinner tonight and some conversation. Because, tell you, I ain't been quite this fascinated with somebody in a long time. And definitely never in quite the way I'm fascinated with you, if I'm being completely honest. Oh, shoot, ma'am, I appreciate that, but there ain't nothing fascinating about me. I'm just a big old country boy. Yeah? Well, I would sure like to show you the flex of my muscles when I'm wearing something a little more comfortable. Yeah, I'm blushing just a little bit, but I see some pink in your cheeks, too. Come on, let's get back to the house. Let's get that dinner and set up a watch to take these bastards out nice, quick, and proper-like. And then I can be as forward about my intention to court you as I want. After you, ma'am. Just this way.